back, viewers, in the middle of a heated debate over stray dogs in the Supreme Court's judgment, which came as a relief for dog lovers. Dog attacks still are continuing, though, and they're continuing to raise alarm across the countries. First, it was Ghaziabad's Rajnagar extension. A woman suffered serious injuries after she fell down a staircase while trying to flee from a neighbor's dog. The family has accused the dog owner of neglect. Then in Kanpur, a situation turned even more brutal, where a BBA student was attacked by a pack of strays. The young woman suffered severe injuries to her face, including a deep wound that required about 17 stitches. She is currently undergoing a treatment in a private hospital, and her family has expressed grave concerns over the rising threat of stray dogs in the city. Meanwhile, it was in Tamil Nadu, a class 2 girl was suddenly attacked by a stray dog while playing outside her home. The attack left the child with grievous facial injuries, forcing her admission into a government hospital for urgent medical care. Also in Ampali village, there was another dog attack. It has sparked fresh concerns when it comes to dog attacks pan-India. So when it comes to strays, obviously many are welcoming the verdict, because there has to be a humane approach to look at the issue of stray dogs. But what about the dog bites? The victims also are raising that question. So the debate over stray dogs, that doesn't seem to be ending. That dog dilemma, India's dog dilemma, the canine conundrum, continues. My colleague Kritika is on the phone line with us. First, if you could take us through, Kritika, these attacks, the cases which are coming to the fore pan-India.
Well, yes, of course. See, there are two aspects to it, however. This is the way in which a lot of people, a lot of activists and also rescuers, animal rescuers who have been working in the same field have pointed it out. First is the case of also unruly stray dogs, and the other is that of unruly pets in itself. So there is a demand, in fact, from a lot of animal rescuers, people who are voicing out in support of stray dogs. They believe that there are specific breeds, for example, the pit bulls and huskies and German shepherds and so on, who are more aggressive in nature and are not acclimatized to the weather that we have in anywhere across our country. So these are the breeds which should be banned from keeping as pets. In fact, crossbreeding, breeders, these are the places where action should be taken. If a person is raising an issue with a pet owner or a pet parent, rather, this is wherein some sensitivity should also and some restraint should also be shown. We've also heard about animal rescuers talking about how maybe on a walk, then a muzzler of sort or a mask of sort can be put on these more aggressive dogs, so that such instances can be eliminated, and definitely could see a decline in the trends that we're seeing in, wherein on the daily there are dog attacks that are happening. The second is wherein the issue of the stray dogs comes. Here, if you listen to the activists, what they guarantee is when vaccination and sterilization is done, then dogs in general tends to be less aggressive in nature. They're not as freaky around people, around noises and all of those other things as well. And if they belong to a territory, if you take them to another territory, that is when clashes start happening. That is when human-animal conflict is also seen. But as far as all of these arguments are also concerned, a lot of people are simply scared of dogs. They do not, these arguments...
Well, yes, there is obviously, two sides to this debate. The Supreme Court may have obviously, allowed stray dogs back on the streets after sterilization, but these instances of dog attacks, which are also coming to the fore, obviously are keeping the debate going. Far as the Supreme Court is concerned, viewers, what did the Supreme Court say yesterday? Supreme Court took, as many are calling it, quote unquote, a middle ground or a humane approach. They revised and revisited their order, which basically asked that the strays should be taken to shelters. The top court yesterday ordered that the dogs can be back on the streets after sterilization and vaccination. Those dogs who are found to have rabies, they are the only ones who will be taken to the shelters. But that debate, viewers, is not ending. What you see on your screens, 4 instances of dog bites. So in the backdrop of that verdict also, dog bite instances are also coming to light, and which is what is keeping the debate going. What did the Supreme Court say? It was a supreme relief, if I could call it that, for dog lovers. The Supreme Court basically, as I was telling you, had modified the order. They had basically said that dogs can be picked up, vaccinated and released back in the same area. However, those infected with rabies, those exhibiting quote-unquote aggressive behavior, they are the only ones who shouldn't be released. There's also going to be action against individuals or organizations who were found obstructing municipal authorities from picking up dogs after this order. And remember earlier, what did the court say, the SC say on August 11? That order basically said that the strays should be taken from the streets to the shelter, which led to a massive debate. And in the backdrop of those protests and debate, the Supreme Court ended up revising that order. But obviously, as we are telling you, animal activists were rejoicing. Let's listen into what they said yesterday. And also, we will look at other instances which are coming to light today.
सर इससे बड़ी बात नहीं हो सकती। हम लोग इतने खुश हैं। हम लोग 10-11 दिन से घर छोड़ के सर हम सोए नहीं है सर, हम सोए नहीं है सच में। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये भी कहा जय श्री राम। सर पब्लिक मीटिंग तो वैसे भी लोग अलाउ नहीं करते थे अपने घर के सामने। अब हम खुश हैं तो कि हमें एक जगह मिल जाएगी और हम बोलेंगे ये हमारे डॉग्स की जगह है। तो लोग अपने घर के सामने वैसे ही नहीं अलाउ करते थे, तो अब ये टाइम है कि हम बताएं कि ये हमारी जगह है और हम खिलाएंगे यहाँ पे।
बहुत बड़ा रिलीफ, बहुत बड़ा रिलीफ, बहुत बड़ा, मतलब हम एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकते। 10-11 दिन से हम लोग किस ट्रॉमा में जिए, कैसे जिए, कुछ नहीं पता। सिर्फ रोए नहीं सोए। ये मतलब हमारी क्या जीत है, ये तो सत्य की जीत है। ये बच्चों के साथ न्याय कैसे हो सकता था, आप भी समझ सकते कैसे हो सकता था। महादेव के बच्चे, हमारा कल्चर, हमारी सनातन संस्कृति कैसे पॉसिबल था, नहीं था पॉसिबल। पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के डिसीजन का बहुत बड़ा समर्थन करते हैं।
So while many activists, dog lovers have welcomed the Supreme Court judgment, the revision of that order, there are instances in the backdrop of stray dog bites also, which are coming to the fore. That debate is continuing. We'll keep an eye on it. As of now, we are slipping into a short commercial break, viewers.